Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are exploring 4 of the most valuable and expensive United States ultra-rare standing Liberty quarters, coins that often look old, scratched, and forgotten, yet carry the power to shock collectors with their true worth. These historic survivors tell stories of heavy circulation, early minting struggles, and unexpected rarity, proving that even the most worn quarters can hide extraordinary value. First up, we're talking about the most rare and valuable, the 1919 standing Liberty quarter from the United States. Struck at the Denver Mint and identified by the D Mint mark, stands among the most valuable and expensive ultra-rare quarter dollars ever pursued by serious collectors when the right factors align. This is not a coin that impresses at first glance. It often appears dark, scratched, unevenly worn, and almost ruined, the kind of quarter most people would overlook without a second thought. Yet under the right circumstances, this exact coin, especially with the stars below the eagle reverse, can represent extreme money, the kind that shocks even seasoned numismatists. This is the paradox of the standing Liberty quarter. Its ugliest survivors can quietly become its most powerful, turning what looks like a damaged relic into a 6-figure conversation piece when rarity, story, and demand collide. To understand why the 1919 issue matters, it is essential to step into the United States at the end of the First World War. The nation was emerging from global conflict into economic uncertainty. Inflation was climbing as wartime price controls loosened, silver values fluctuated, and the mint faced relentless pressure to keep commerce moving. Coin shortages were common in growing cities and industrial regions, forcing coins into heavy circulation almost immediately after striking. The standing Liberty quarter, introduced only a few years earlier, was still proving itself in real-world use, and its delicate design struggled to survive daily handling. In 1919, coins were tools, not collectibles, and the environment ensured that most quarters from this year would be worn hard, damaged early, and rarely saved. The Denver Mint played a critical role in meeting the West's demand for circulating silver in 1919. Coins struck there carried the D Mint mark on the reverse, a small letter that now carries enormous weight. Mintage figures for the 1919 D standing Liberty quarter reached into the millions, a number that on paper suggests abundance. But high mintage does not equal high survival. Weak strikes, fast die wear, and poor metal flow plagued Denver production during this period. The stars below the eagle reverse design adds another layer of scarcity, representing an early design choice that was soon revised. Most of these quarters circulated until they were nearly unrecognizable, melted for silver, or discarded once the date wore away, leaving a surprisingly small number of identifiable survivors today. An old, scratched 1919, D-standing Liberty quarter tells its story through damage. Liberty's figure often appears ghostly, her shield smoothed by decades of handling, the rivets barely visible if at all. Scratches cut across the fields, sometimes deep, sometimes light, each one marking a moment in the coin's long working life. Discoloration, dark toning, or even corrosion can dominate the surface, especially on coins that passed through humid environments or were stored improperly. The date may be weak or partially damaged, a notorious issue for the series. These features are not defects to be dismissed. They are evidence of survival in a world that was not kind to silver coinage. Collectors today increasingly understand the power of coins like this. The appeal lies not in perfection, but in authenticity. Damaged standing Liberty quarters evoke emotion because they look real. They feel like history held in the hand. Niche demand has grown for coins that tell dramatic stories, coins that look like they endured something. Survival rarity plays a central role here. Millions were struck, but very few remain identifiable, visually striking, and tied to an early design type. Each damaged example becomes unique, impossible to replicate, and deeply personal to the collector who owns it. The 1919 D issue is also known for unusual traits that elevate interest. Die deterioration often softened details even before circulation began. Planchet flaws and metal impurities were not uncommon, leading to lamination issues or uneven surfaces. Struck through debris could leave mysterious impressions frozen in silver. Over time, environmental exposure sometimes triggered dramatic toning reactions, transforming the coin's appearance in ways that are visually arresting and impossible to reproduce. Even speculative anomalies, when supported by period minting realities, can turn a worn quarter into an object of fascination. Auction behavior surrounding coins like this has evolved dramatically. Traditional price guides struggle to account for emotional bidding fueled by storytelling, social media exposure, and specialty auction houses that understand how to present rarity. A single compelling image of a scarred 1919D standing Liberty Quarter can ignite intense competition among collectors who recognize its significance. In these moments, logic gives way to desire, and prices can surge far beyond expectations as bidders compete for a coin that feels irreplaceable. In extreme scenarios, a 1919D standing Liberty Quarter with stars below the eagle, heavily worn yet visually dramatic, paired with a compelling narrative and exceptional presentation, could reach a shocking six-figure result at auction. The story of this quarter reinforces a deeper truth about coin collecting. Value is not always clean or polished. Sometimes it is scratched, dark, and overlooked. Coins like the 1919D standing Liberty Quarter are survivors, shaped by history and human use. They remind collectors that unpredictability is part of the thrill, and that hidden value often waits in the most unlikely places. Somewhere, in a drawer or an old collection, a quarter just like this may still be waiting to reveal its story. And secondly, we are diving into one of the most fascinating and controversial quarters ever struck by the United States Mint, the ultra-rare standing Liberty Quarter with stars below the eagle from 1920, struck at the Denver Mint with the D Mint mark. This is a coin that many collectors overlook at first glance, yet when you understand its history, rarity, and true value, it becomes clear why this quarter stands among the most desirable and expensive issues in the entire standing Liberty Quarter series. The 1920D standing Liberty Quarter is collectible for several powerful reasons, starting with its place in a short and complex design era that only lasted a few years. Coins from this series are known for weak strikes, fast wear, and low survival rates, especially in higher grades. When you add the Denver Mint mark to the equation, along with the stars below the eagle reverse design, you are looking at a coin that becomes exponentially harder to find in respectable condition. Collectors prize this issue because it represents both artistic ambition and the technical challenges faced by the mint during the early 20th century. To truly appreciate this coin, it helps to understand the historical backdrop of 1920. The United States was emerging from World War I, and the economy was adjusting to post-war realities. The Denver Mint was operating at full capacity, yet quality control was far from perfect. Many standing Liberty Quarters from this period were struck with insufficient pressure, resulting in flat details that wore down quickly in circulation. Because quarters were heavily used in everyday commerce, few examples were set aside, making high-grade survivors from the Denver Mint particularly scarce today. The design of the standing Liberty Quarter is one of the most symbolic in American coinage. On the obverse, Lady Liberty stands confidently, holding a shield in one hand and an olive branch in the other, representing both readiness and peace. The details on Liberty's gown, shield, and facial features are often the first to wear, which is why sharply struck examples are so valuable. On the reverse, the eagle in flight is surrounded by stars below its wings, a defining feature of this design type. On the 1920D issue, these stars are often weakly struck, making fully detailed examples exceptionally desirable among advanced collectors. Rarity plays a major role in the value of this coin, especially when condition is taken into account. While the original mintage figures may seem reasonable on paper, the reality is that most 1920D standing Liberty Quarters entered circulation immediately and remained there until they were worn nearly smooth. Coins with full details, visible date, and strong reverse features are extremely hard to find today. In higher circulated grades, this coin is already scarce, but in mint state condition, it becomes a true rarity that commands serious attention at auction. Collector demand for the 1920D standing Liberty Quarter remains strong because it represents a key challenge within the standing Liberty Quarter series. Unlike more common dates, this issue tests a collector's patience, budget, and knowledge. It stands out as a coin that separates casual collectors from serious numismatists, as completing a high-quality set without compromising on this date is no easy task. Its appeal lies not only in scarcity, but also in its historical and artistic significance within early 20th century U.S. coinage. When it comes to current market value, the 1920D standing Liberty Quarter shows just how dramatic the price differences can be based on condition. In lower circulated grades with visible wear, values can start in the several $100 range. As condition improves into fine and very fine grades, prices can quickly rise into the thousands. Extremely fine and about uncirculated examples often command strong five-figure prices, while certified mint state coins can reach staggering levels, sometimes selling for tens of thousands of dollars depending on appeal, strike quality, and overall preservation. For collectors interested in owning this coin, focusing on condition is absolutely critical. Pay close attention to the date, shield details, and the eagle's feathers, as these areas reveal both strike quality and wear. Professional grading by a trusted service is highly recommended, given the value and the number of problem coins on the market. Original luster, even if faint, adds significant premium, and coins with natural toning are often preferred over those that have been cleaned or altered. Searching reputable auctions, established coin dealers, and certified holders is the safest way to pursue this elusive quarter. Another reason the 1920D standing Liberty Quarter continues to gain attention is the way market trends have shifted in recent years toward genuinely scarce classic silver coins. As modern collectors become more educated, there is a growing appreciation for coins that are not just old, but truly difficult to replace. This particular issue fits that demand perfectly because it combines a challenging date, a branch mint, and a design known for rapid wear. Auction records consistently show strong competition whenever a solid example appears, especially those with clear dates and balanced appeal. Even coins with honest circulation are no longer considered common, and that steady demand has helped push values upward, making this quarter not only a historical artifact, but also a long-term store of value within the classic U.S. coin market. What makes this coin especially compelling for collectors is the sense of accomplishment that comes with owning one. The 1920D standing Liberty Quarter is not a piece that can be easily upgraded once purchased, which means collectors often spend years searching for the right example. That hunt becomes part of the story, adding emotional value beyond the price tag. Each surviving coin reflects decades of circulation, economic change, and shifting collecting habits. For many numismatists, finally adding this quarter to a collection feels like completing a major milestone. It serves as a reminder that some of the most valuable coins are not defined by perfection alone, but by scarcity, history, and the challenge they present to those determined enough to pursue them. The 1920D standing Liberty Quarter with stars below the eagle stands as a powerful symbol of rarity, history, and collector ambition. It tells the story of a nation in transition, a mint struggling with technical challenges, and a design that pushed the boundaries of American coin art. Whether you are a seasoned collector or someone just beginning to explore rare U.S. coins, this quarter represents a benchmark of quality and value that few issues can match. And as we move forward in this video series, stay tuned, because coming up next, we will uncover another remarkable coin that continues to shock collectors with its rarity and skyrocketing market value. And thirdly, we're exploring one of the most valuable and rare 1929 standing Liberty Quarter with the San Francisco S Mint Mark stands as one of the most captivating and highly sought-after pieces in the entire standing Liberty Quarter series, instantly drawing the attention of serious collectors and seasoned numismatists. This coin is admired not only for its striking design, but also for its scarcity, historical importance, and steadily rising market demand. For many enthusiasts, owning a high-grade example of the 1929 S standing Liberty Quarter represents a major milestone, as it embodies the perfect blend of artistry, rarity, and long-term value. Its reputation as a prized treasure continues to grow, especially among collectors who focus on key-date silver quarters with strong investment potential. The historical context behind the 1929 S standing Liberty Quarter adds greatly to its appeal and significance. Minted near the end of the standing Liberty Quarter series, which ran from 1916 to 1930, this coin emerged during a pivotal moment in American history just before the full impact of the Great Depression. Produced at the San Francisco Mint, the 1929 S issue reflects a period when mintages were often limited and public demand for coinage was shifting. As one of the final chapters in this iconic series, the coin serves as a tangible connection to the economic and cultural changes shaping the United States at the close of the 1920s. The design of the 1929 standing Liberty Quarter remains one of the most admired in U.S. coinage history. The obverse features Lady Liberty standing confidently between two pedestals, holding an olive branch to symbolize peace, while her shield represents strength and readiness. This powerful imagery resonated deeply with Americans of the era and continues to captivate enthusiasts today. The reverse showcases a majestic eagle in flight, a symbol of freedom and national pride, rendered with remarkable detail. Struck in 90% silver, the coin measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter and weighs 6.25 grams, giving it a substantial and classic feel that enhances its visual and tactile appeal. What further elevates this coin's desirability is the presence of the San Francisco S Mint mark, located on the reverse. San Francisco Mint issues are especially prized within the Standing Liberty Quarter series due to their typically lower mintages and higher rates of circulation. The 1929 S Standing Liberty Quarter is no exception, as many examples were heavily used, leaving relatively few survivors in high-grade condition. In uncirculated or near-mint condition, the sharpness of the design, especially Liberty's gown and the eagle's feathers, becomes truly breathtaking. Rarity plays a major role in the strong collector demand for the 1929 S Standing Liberty Quarter. While circulated examples can still be found, truly well-preserved coins are scarce, making high-grade specimens exceptionally valuable. The coin's relatively low mintage combined with decades of circulation means that most surviving pieces show wear. As a result, collectors place a premium on examples with full details, strong strikes, and minimal surface marks. Finding a pristine example today is a genuine challenge, which only intensifies its allure. Condition is everything when it comes to determining the worth of this ultra-rare quarter. Coins graded extremely fine or about uncirculated already command significant attention, but values rise sharply for pieces graded mint state by reputable certification services. An uncirculated 1929 S Standing Liberty Quarter with strong luster and well-defined details is considered a standout rarity. These high-grade coins are often tightly held by collectors, rarely appearing on the open market, which further fuels competition and price growth. In today's numismatic market, the value of the 1929 S Standing Liberty Quarter reflects its status as a key date collectible. Depending on condition and eye appeal, prices typically range from around $1,000 for well-preserved circulated examples to as high as $8,000 or more for certified uncirculated specimens. Auction results and private sales consistently show steady appreciation, driven by the coin's historical importance, silver content, and iconic design. This upward trend has made the 1929 S issue increasingly attractive to both collectors and long-term investors. For collectors hoping to add this remarkable coin to their collection, careful purchasing is essential. Priority should always be given to high-grade or professionally certified examples to ensure authenticity and accurate grading. Inspecting details such as strike quality, surface preservation, and the clarity of the S Mint mark can make a significant difference in value. Buying from reputable dealers, established auction houses, or trusted collector networks helps reduce risk and ensures fair market pricing. Proper care and storage are also critical once a 1929 S Standing Liberty Quarter is acquired. Coins should be housed in protective holders or certified slabs to prevent damage from handling, moisture, or environmental exposure. Avoiding unnecessary contact preserves the coin's original surfaces and helps maintain its long-term value. Many experienced collectors also recommend staying engaged with numismatic communities to monitor market trends and gain insights into pricing and rarity. Beyond its financial worth, the 1929 S Standing Liberty Quarter carries an emotional and historical weight that few other U.S. coins can match. Holding this coin is like holding a moment frozen in time, a final expression of one of the most artistic and symbolic coin designs ever produced by the United States Mint. As one of the later issues in the series, it represents the closing chapter of an era when coinage was treated as true art rather than simple currency. Collectors are often drawn to this piece not just for its rarity, but for the story it tells about American ideals, resilience, and craftsmanship during a period of national transition. This deep narrative connection is a major reason why demand for the 1929 S continues to remain strong across generations of numismatists. As the market for high-quality vintage U.S. coins continues to mature, the long-term outlook for the 1929 S Standing Liberty Quarter remains very promising. Advanced collectors frequently consider it a cornerstone coin for a complete Standing Liberty Quarter set, while investors view it as a stable store of value with consistent appreciation. Its combination of low survival rates in top condition, iconic design, and historical significance ensures that interest will not fade over time. Whether displayed as a centerpiece in a personal collection or held as part of a strategic investment portfolio, this ultra-rare quarter continues to captivate enthusiasts worldwide, reinforcing its reputation as one of the most desirable and valuable silver quarters ever struck by the United States Mint. The 1929 Standing Liberty Quarter with the San Francisco S Mint mark stands as a remarkable blend of history, artistry, and scarcity. Its powerful design, limited availability in high grades, and strong market performance firmly establish it as a prized treasure in American numismatics. For collectors who value coins that offer both historical depth and investment potential, this quarter represents a rewarding pursuit and a lasting symbol of America's rich coinage heritage. And at the end, we're exploring the most valuable and expensive United States ultra-rare quarter dollar, the rare 1930 Standing Liberty Quarter with the San Francisco S Mint mark, a coin that has been described as ugly, old, and damaged beyond recognition. At first glance, this piece from the United States appears as little more than a worn, scratched, and nearly forgotten relic of the Great Depression, yet its potential value is shocking, capable of commanding a staggering sum that eclipses pristine examples, proving that extreme worth can hide beneath a battered surface. To understand this coin is to step into the bleak economic landscape of 1930 America. The stock market crash of the previous autumn had solidified into a relentless national depression. Banks were failing, unemployment was soaring, and for the average citizen, the very concept of disposable income for luxuries like coin collecting was vanishing. In this environment, the need for circulating coinage itself contracted sharply. The San Francisco Mint, the S Mint, operated not out of necessity for new money, but as a matter of routine, producing coinage in dramatically lower numbers than the boom years of the 1920s. Every coin struck in 1930, especially from a branch mint, was born into a world of hardship and likely saw immediate, heavy use. The minting context of the 1930 S Standing Liberty Quarter is one of paradoxical scarcity. The San Francisco Mint produced only 1,556,000 quarters that entire year, a mintage that appears substantial on paper but is deceptively low for the series. This figure represents the smallest production for any Standing Liberty Quarter since 1916. In the brutal economy, these coins entered circulation and were worn down, lost, or melted in vast numbers. A high mintage does not guarantee survival, and in this case, the combination of low original output and severe attrition over 9 decades creates a scenario of genuine rarity, particularly in any condition that retains identifiable features. The physical condition of this specific coin tells a harrowing story of survival. The surfaces are dominated by deep, abrasive scratches that cut across Lady Liberty's form and the eagle on the reverse. The date, while present, is softened by wear. The metal exhibits a dark, variegated patina, a mix of old oxidation and environmental residue from a century of uncertain storage. The rim may be nicked and bruised from countless impacts with other coins, cash register drawers, and pockets. This is not a coin that has been preserved. It is a coin that has endured, its every flaw a testament to its journey through the darkest years of modern American history. This very damage is what fuels a powerful niche within modern collector psychology. Beyond the traditional pursuit of pristine, graded specimens lies a passionate community that champions coins of extreme character. They seek pieces that scream of their own history, coins that are unique artifacts rather than manufactured collectibles. A heavily worn and scratched 1930 S quarter is a singular object. No other coin will have the exact same pattern of marks, the same tonalities, the same narrative of hard use. This survival rarity, in a visually shocking state, creates an emotional appeal rooted in raw authenticity, speaking to collectors who value story over state. While this coin may not exhibit a dramatic mint error, its environmental transformation and potential planchet flaws are its anomalies. The metal's reaction to a century of exposure, perhaps to corrosive elements, humidity, or chemical cleaners, has created a surface that is entirely unique. One might speculate on subtle struck-through debris or minor dye deterioration on the original strike, but its primary unusual trait is its existence. To find any 1930 S quarter today is a challenge. To encounter one with such a pronounced, almost artistic level of damage is to find a relic that defies the odds, a true outlier in the numismatic landscape. Auction market behavior for such pieces has evolved dramatically, driven by social media and viral attention. A coin with a compelling, visually striking story, especially one of extreme rarity in any condition, can capture the imagination of a specialized audience. When such a piece enters a major specialty auction, it is no longer judged by price guide averages for good condition. Instead, it is marketed as a historic artifact, a conversation piece, and a trophy of survival. Emotional bidding between two determined collectors, each captivated by the coin's unparalleled character, can create a perfect storm, propelling the final hammer price into realms that seem irrational to the outside observer. Under these extreme conditions, the value scenario for this damaged 1930s quarter becomes unmoored from convention. While a standard worn example may trade for a few $100s, a coin with this level of dramatic, story-rich damage presented as a unique survivor could theoretically ignite a fierce bidding war. In a high-profile auction focused on classic rarities with provenance, it is conceivable for such a piece to achieve a shocking 5-figure, or even approach a low 6-figure sum, not for its grade, but for its singular narrative and the intense competition between advanced collectors seeking the ultimate expression of a rare issue. This is not typical, but it is the possible pinnacle of value for a coin that has transcended its condition. This 1930s standing Liberty Quarter closes its narrative not as a damaged good, but as a sovereign piece of American history. Its scratches are the scars of the Depression, its dark surface the patina of time. Its immense potential value, born from its extreme rarity and character, reaffirms a fundamental truth of numismatics. Collecting is not solely an endeavor for perfection. It is a pursuit of history, of survival, of the unpredictable allure found in objects that have lived a hard life and emerged, against all odds, as icons of a forgotten era. Considering the profound rarity of the 1930s standing Liberty Quarter, its journey from the San Francisco Mint into the hands of a modern collector represents a numismatic odyssey spanning nearly a century. Each transaction, from its initial distribution into a struggling economy to its eventual withdrawal from circulation, acted as a filter reducing the population of survivors. The coin's current state, therefore, is a palimpsest of its entire existence. The deep fields of where suggest it passed through thousands of hands, while the concentrated scratches might indicate careless storage in a jar or bag with other abrasive objects. This tangible history is irreplicable in a mint-state coin, making this damaged piece a primary source document of the Great Depression's daily commerce, its metal literally shaped by the economic forces of its time. The niche demand for such a dramatically impaired specimen operates on a different set of principles than mainstream grading. While the Sheldon scale assesses the amount of original detail lost to circulation, the premium for a coin like this is derived from what has been added, a unique identity forged through trauma. For the specialist, this 1930s quarter is not a good-for-condition coin. It is a survivor category all its own. Its value is anchored by the fundamental rarity of the issue, one of the key dates of the 20th century, and then exponentially multiplied by its character and the story implied by its surfaces. This creates a powerful, almost archaeological appeal, transforming it from a collectible into a relic, where the damage does not subtract from the value but constitutes its very essence. Ultimately, the theoretical auction performance of this coin hinges on its presentation as the ultimate contrast between aesthetic ruin and numismatic supremacy. In a market where identical, perfectly preserved coins exist in certified slabs, this piece stands alone. Its sale would not be merely a transaction, but an event, narrating a tale of scarcity, endurance, and the unpredictable desires of advanced collectors. The final hammer price would reflect a consensus that this coin has achieved a form of numismatic transcendence, where traditional condition standards are rendered irrelevant by the sheer power of its story and the absolute rarity of finding such a significant date in any recognizable form. It becomes a monument to the idea that worth, in the deepest sense, is defined not by perfection, but by the indelible marks of history. This story serves as the most critical reminder to look carefully at your own coins. Do not dismiss the worn, the scratched, the seemingly ruined. Examine dates and mint marks with care, for beneath the grime and damage of age may lie a rarity of immense historical importance and unexpected worth, waiting for its story to be told and its true value to be recognized by those who understand that character, sometimes, is the ultimate currency.